Today's video is sponsored by Skillshare.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we finally have another sketchbook tour. It's been a long time coming, mostly because I've been using this same sketchbook for over a year now. I started this sketchbook back in May of 2022, so we've got a lot of art in here that we have to go through, and I'm very excited to show you all the stuff that I've been doing in my sketchbook over the past year. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So this here is my Archer and Olive sketchbook, and I started this one back in May of 2022 because that's when I got this final proof of this sketchbook, which is a collaboration that I did with Archer and Olive at the time. So I thought it would be only right to use one of my sketchbooks, and yeah, it's honestly been serving me so well over the past year. It's obviously got a lot of scratches and bumps here and there just from wear and tear of me taking it everywhere. But yeah, this was my collaboration sketchbook with Archer and Olive that I was obviously so passionate about. I made obviously a sketchbook that I would want to use as well. So obviously I have been using it for over a year.
Today's video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of online classes ready to take you to the next step in your creative journey. It is the perfect place to get inspired, learn new skills, and put them to work in impactful ways. Skillshare has the largest online learning community for creatives with a wide spectrum of topics ranging from illustration, graphic design and photography to music, marketing, and productivity. They have a world-class community whilst using a learn by doing approach, where each member can create and share a project after completing their class. If you find that you need more time to get through a class, that is no problem. Skillshare is an on-demand platform with stackable lessons so members can learn at their own pace, no matter the skill level. Some new classes I'm very excited to try soon is this one by Cheryl Chan, Romanticize Your Business, Video Content with Canva, which will surely help me with creating content on my socials about my small business. I'm also super excited about this one by Jenny Veguila-Lezon on designing a digital planner in the Affinity Publisher on the iPad Pro. I've been recently really enjoying this class by Kate Willis Crowley, The Fearless Sketchbook, 14 Days to Creative Confidence. I've been struggling with finding inspiration to draw in my sketchbook, so this class has been great in keeping me motivated and giving me prompts to try in my own sketchbook. So I very much enjoyed this class. It was super helpful, and it definitely got me out of my art block. Whether you want to learn the basics of watercolor painting or learn how to start your own creative business, Skillshare has classes to take you from beginner to pro alongside a supportive community. Skillshare has partnered up with me to give you a great deal. The first 1,000 people to use the link in my description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Unlock your creativity today and try out Skillshare for yourself. Thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video.
So in the first few pages, I was actually doing just some swatches of the pens that I also did with Archer and Olive. I did like a pen set with their acrylographs, and so I was just doing like a little swatch here because I was going to be doing a set of portraits with them in another page that's coming. I did some little thumbnails here for a cute little fairy drawing that I did for a video as well. I can't really recall if it was for a stream or for a video, but these were the little thumbnails that I did for that drawing. Here are just some more portrait sketches. I did some marker practice here just to kind of test out how markers did in this sketchbook, and yep, they did amazingly, as you can see. Super vibrant, no bleed. They was just mwah. And here are the little portraits that I did with those acrylograph pens that I was swatching. So it was kind of just like drawing little characters for each one of them, which was really cute. Here we've got a spread that I think I did for a Sketch With Me video, perhaps. Can't really remember. It was over a year ago. And if any of these spreads were part of like a YouTube video, I will link the video up there, don't you worry. So yeah, I've got like some more thumbnails here and some hand studies. This spread was definitely for a Sketch With Me video, or maybe it was for Patreon. I can't really recall, but yeah, some cute little studies from Pinterest. I think I turned this drawing into a digital drawing, which was really nice, like almost a year later. Here are some more like hand gesture studies that I did with some pens actually. I was like really into using color, and I wanted sort of this spread to match this spread because I obviously did this marker page first. Again, beautiful color, like saturation and stuff. And I'm pretty sure I did this for video as well. And I wanted this spread to kind of match the color vibe of this one, so that's what I did. I used my Pentel Sign pens for most of these drawings here. So then on this next spread, I have a very like quote unquote like viral spread, which I did some TikToks and some reels of me doing these portrait studies in marker, and they kind of did really well, which was very, very surprising and also very exciting. Especially this one and this one did really well, which was very fun. And this was definitely also for a YouTube video, I remember. This here is the marker illustration that I did the thumbnails for back here. So this is the final piece that I did for that, and I can't really remember what this was for. I think it might have been for a stream, but I will find out in the editing phase. So here we've got some life drawing studies. So I go to life drawing sometimes. Here in Manchester there's like life drawing classes everywhere, and it's really awesome. This was my first one of the sketchbook, I guess. So these were the first 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes poses of the session, and then 10 minutes here. All three of these are 10 minutes, and 15 minutes and 15 minutes. I love going to live drawing. I always push it so much on my channel and like on my socials because I think it's such a really good resource. Even if you can't do it in person, I always recommend lineofaction.com, which is an amazing resource of life drawing and amazing reference because you can make up your own classes and stuff like that on there. And yeah, drawing from reference and drawing from life is super important. So I always really push it. It's honestly the thing that has completely changed how I do anatomy, how I understand like human figure and things like that. Super important. So I actually really like this drawing I did here. I kind of was in the mood to just render out some stuff without really thinking about proportions or, you know, perspective. So I just kind of wanted to sit down and sketch some stuff. So I did this drawing of a girl from the back with like a headscarf, and it looks really cute. I'm really happy with how the rendering of the fabric came out. Here's another marker illustration that I did for a YouTube video. I'm gonna keep saying that because I have no idea. So I'm really happy with how this one came out. It's super cute. Love how the gloves came out. It looks really magical. And then always the most haunting part of doing marker illustrations is the page after it with like, it's so scary every single time. And here are just some like little thumbnails that I did for some paintings that I was planning on doing in the next few weeks. I think I only ended up doing paintings for this one and maybe this one. So it's really cool that I still have, you know, the thumbnails for both of these, and I can still revisit this sort of series if I want to. We've got some more life drawing here. This was an Easter themed life drawing session actually. So the model on the day came with like some really cool like bunny props and like a top hat, and it was just like really funny. It was a good time. And she did like a lot of bunny poses for us. So yeah, these are all 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, then this one was 10 minutes, more 10 minutes poses here, and then 15 minutes and 15 minutes. And actually on this session, on this day, we did like a little portrait competition. So we paired each other up randomly, and then we had to like draw a portrait of each other in like 5 or 10 minutes. And I actually won the competition, which was really fun, really exciting. And I won some really cute art supplies and a sketchbook and stuff. It was so fun. It was just lovely. I love like the special event life drawing sessions that this place that I go to does, because they always do like little competitions and special snacks in the intermission. And yeah, this was the partner that I was partnered up with, and it was just really fun because we got to just sit down and chat to each other and get to know each other while we drew each other. So yeah, really fun day. Here, just some random doodles and portraits, and this is actually the finished piece of this thumbnail back here that I sketched out a few weeks prior. So this was the final one that I did, and this was actually for when I did my Arteza campaign back in June of last year. So I did a really cool campaign with Arteza, the art supplies company, and they came over to Manchester with like a team, like a filmmaking team, and they just kind of followed me around for 2 days and did like a cute little campaign with me for their Fuel Your Creativity campaign that they were running. So I did this drawing, and I did another one coming up for some of the hands-on drawing segments that they filmed. But I really like how this one came out. I just really like the bright colors in the eyes, and I think the skin rendering came out really cute with the markers as well, because my thing that I was promoting for this campaign was markers, so I did a lot of marker illustrations. And it's also probably why I was doing so many marker illustrations like up to this point, because I was like practicing a lot with them. Some more little doodles here and sketches of faces and things like that. I was really into like headscarves at the time and like turban-like hairdos, so I was doing a lot of that. And also ribbons, because I did this portrait also for the Arteza campaign for like a little tutorial, I'm pretty sure it was. So this was also the sketches for my 3rd ever Patreon Melon Mail goodies, because I started my Patreon 2 months before this, so in March. So I started doing like all my sketches and stuff in here for all the goodies. Some more portraits. I actually turned this sketch into a Melon Mail goodie 3 or 4 months ago. So it's really interesting how I'll draw something a year ago and then turn it into something different or new or better like a year later. I really like going through like old sketchbooks and sketchbooks that I know I've been working on for over a year, and just picking out, ideas that I've completely forgotten about, or sketches that I've completely forgotten about, and revisiting them, making them better. And yeah, it's just always such a fun activity. Here, I really got into my colored pencil phase. I'm pretty sure that I then started going away on holiday to see my family. So usually when I go traveling, I usually just take like a lot of colored pencils in my pencil case, and just that's my main way of adding color into my sketchbook pages, because obviously I get very scared with security at airports and like markers and pens. It's always so iffy, so I just avoid taking them in general, because I don't want to risk them taking them away from me. Pencils is my go-to travel art supply, so I did a lot of sketches while I was away in colored pencil. I did this spread for a video, absolutely. So a lot of like pencil sketches, and I'm pretty sure it was for a Sketch With Me video. I love this little guy. I'm so obsessed. He's so round. I just want to squeeze him. Squeeze him. I'm pretty sure I turned this sketch into a sticker for my online shop. So I completely revamped it, did it digitally, and then added like a quote on top, and it looks really cute now. More random sketches. This, I think, was when I started watching Spy Family, and I really wanted to draw a little sketch of like Lloyd being like really domestic and making breakfast for the family. And I like kind of quickly sketched this while I was watching an episode, which obviously is why it's not great, but I think the essence of the idea is there. This is another idea that I really want to revisit. It was like a really quick sketch that I did, an idea that I might do for Halloween this year, because it's got a lot of little ghosties and stuff. Here we got some really cute sketches of some animals. Every once in a blue moon, I will try to work on my animal figure. So we've got some little fennec foxes here, which I was kind of obsessed with at the time. Did some cute little doggies and a cat. I'm really happy with how these came out. I'm really proud of the way that they came out. So they just look really cute. And here is actually some sketches that I started doing for a sketchbook design that I started working on myself for my shop. And it's very actually interesting that I'm doing this video now, because the sketchbook for this design has actually just been sent off to print in mass. So I got the final like test sample, I guess, that I approved because it looked so good. I'm not gonna like share too much about it, because I want to do a big like launch of these sketchbooks next month or the month after that. So I'm not gonna spoil too much, but yeah, so these are the original sketches of the sketchbook that's coming. This is also my sketch for some sticky memo pads that I wanted to do for my shop launch that summer. So I did this design and a different design as well. And so here it is. I did this design as well, so I ended up launching both of those. You can probably guess what show I was watching at the time. Yeah, I did this cute little sketch from Stranger Things when I was watching the show. I felt really awful that day for some reason. I can't really remember why, but I did this drawing and it made me feel a little bit better. And then we've got this cute little colored pencil portrait here as well. I was sort of practicing how I like render skin tones and stuff with all these kind of like muddled colors sort of blending into each other without making it look weird. So there's a lot of that coming in the next few pages. So here is, again, me just planning designs for items for my big shop launch that I did last summer. So it was me planning pins, charms, stickers, sticker sheets, all kinds of things, and it's just me sort of jotting down ideas and then seeing what looked good, really. And here is actually when I started doing the sketches for the packaging of my paintbrush set that I did with Craft Ammo. So I've got actually the final box design here. So it was the packaging for this box here of my paintbrushes and also all the bits that came inside the paintbrushes. So this is the original sketches that I did for that. I was kind of torn on what kind of like vibe to go with. Should I do clouds again? Should I do ribbons? Because I was kind of into like doing ribbony designs at the time. So I just kind of sketched out a bunch of ideas and did thumbnails for all of them to see which ones I liked the best. And I obviously, shocker, was more into the clouds because it was kind of what I was doing the most at the time. And I mean, to be fair, it still is, but it was really what I was doing a lot at the time in terms of like my branding, and because I thought it also would look really good in watercolor. And since this was a paintbrush set, I thought that that would be the best sort of design to go with. And yeah, so here we're just doing some more face studies. Did another colored pencil portrait over here, and I think turned out really cute. Some more random sketches here with my colored pencils. Here I was sort of brainstorming some designs for a Patreon melon mail print, as well as I think the theme for that month was like retro or something like that, or 80s themed. So that's sort of what I was sketching out here. I ended up going with these two ideas for the sticker and the print. Again, some more really cute colored pencil drawings here. Ended up turning this into a sticker, which is very cute. Some more little colored pencil sketches. I also did this one with my black brush pen. I really like every once in a while get into like using a brush pen to do really sort of graphic drawings like this, and then I kind of will just forget that it exists and never use it again. But I always think that designs like this look so cool. Some more marker studies here. Pretty sure I did this for a video as well. It was for a video where I tested out these acrylic markers from Arteza, which I'm still obsessed with, you guys know. That was a really nice video as well. And these were some more like face studies from people at Life Drawing before the session began. I just did some random drawings of people. Some more random sketches here. I did these sketches before I did the markers illustrations on the other page, so it kind of ruined them, but you know. Some more drawings here. Some Pinterest reference probably, just sketching things out. These are some more sketches of people who are at Life Drawing that, again, I was just doing some quick warm-ups before the session started. And these were some more thumbnailing for Patreon Melon Mail for the month after. So the theme this month I think was travel or adventure. So I was just doing some thumbnails for those. And here is the actual Life Drawing sketches that I did for that session that I was drawing random people from. So 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes here. I ended up doing this session in colored pencil because why not? 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and 10 minutes. I actually even ended up getting a lot of color in this one, which is quite surprising, but I really love how the colors came out on this one. And then got 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and 20 minutes. So these are all of the drawings I did for that session. Really happy with how they turned out. Here are just some more random doodles. I'm not really sure what happened in this page. Didn't really finish anything here, but yeah, I really like this page. Again, some more colored pencil studies and just practicing blending like limited pencil colors into an actual rendered face. So these are like all the pencils that I got in like a colored pencil set that a brand sent me, and I thought I'd try and use this limited color selection to do as many sort of portraits as possible and see how I can make things look really colorful and vibrant. Some more pencil sketches and pencil drawings. I actually did this drawing for a little like TikTok video because I ended up doing this for a Patreon Melon Mail sticker, and I recorded like the process of this for a TikTok / an Instagram reel, and it did really well as well. I was really surprised, so I remember this design very well. Here are some more random portrait studies, and here we have another colored pencil portrait that I was really happy with how it came out. I actually turned this sketch into a Melon Mail print this year as well, so another drawing that came back around and became something more. I can really start seeing like a bit of more progress with the way that I was using these colored pencils, and instead of just mashing them all together in the same places, I was sort of doing a bit more of a gradient along the face, so it had more like warm tones along the middle, colder tones down here, and yellower sort of warmer tones at the top, and just kind of creating a bit of a gradient and making it look more intentional than just sort of mixing all the colors everywhere. So yeah, I'm a lot happier with how this one came out. Oh yeah, so this is when I went to a little like dog event here in Manchester near where I live, and it was at like a park here nearby, and they were doing like a dog show for like everyone could like enter, and I had a field day, honestly. I thought today I'm gonna draw so many cute doggies. I didn't have a dog, by the way, here in England, so I literally just went so I could see dogs for like a whole afternoon, and it was lovely. So I drew some of my favorite dogs that were there. I got to talk to the owners of a lot of them, and I got to pet a lot of them, which was even more exciting. And they were all lovely and so good. And yeah, it was just a really nice afternoon. So here's another colored pencil portrait where I was just practicing sort of that blending technique again. Some random smiling practice, like portrait smiling practice. It looks a bit creepy when you look at it now, just because it's just like 3 smiling people randomly, but I think I was going to turn these into like colored pencil drawings like this one, but I just never got back to them, so that's why they were made with like a faint yellower pen. Some more scribbles over here, just some random designs. I drew a little cute guy over here who I love, but yeah, just some random scribbles. Here again, this was also for a Melon Mail designs that I was thumbnailing for. I ended up going with sort of this design for the print. Another sketch over here on the right. And I ended up going with this design for the sticker for that other moon Melon Mail theme. It's like a little kitty silhouette in a moon. Very cute. So this was actually during an online live drawing session that I did, that for our warm-ups, the host usually like brings up like pictures or like, I don't know, screenshots of films and stuff so you can like draw them and warm up. So this was the picture that they brought up that day. I'm not really sure who that is, but you know, cool. So this was the online session that I did that day. So this is 1 minute, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, then 5 minutes here as well. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes and 10 minutes here. It was a lovely session. Got a lot of good poses out of it. 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And yeah, that was that live drawing session. It was lovely. Some days when I can't be asked to go to the actual live drawing session, can't be asked to like commute there or whatever, this place that I do life drawing at does life drawing the day before online, so sometimes I'll just join the online session the day before. So here I was doing some sketching because I was starting to think about making pencil cases, and if you do follow me, you know that I've already made the pencil cases that I was planning, and it was quite a long process, but I'm really happy with the final products that came out. But so these were like the first ever ideas that I had, and some more sketches here for another Patreon Melon Mail, I think for December, I want to say. Some more random little doodles here with pencils. So yeah, so December. So this was a Patreon print for December that I ended up going with. So this was just the initial sketch, and then I did it digitally. And then here we've got two little pencil and also markers designs that I did for a video that went up in January this year about like things to do to improve your drawing this year. So I did some of them. Here is just some thumbnails that I did for that video as well. So I actually do want to turn these into some fuller drawings. So I have these on my iPad ready to like go whenever I feel like turning these into actual finished rendered illustrations. But for now, they're just thumbnails of fairies. So this is the final sticker I ended up going with for December. And here I was just doing some sketches for my March anniversary promotion pin for my Patreon. So it was gonna be my first anniversary and I wanted to do something special. So here we have another colored pencil portrait, and this one I did for a YouTube video, so like a little tutorial on how I actually colored with colored pencils. So I can definitely link that down for you guys. This was a sketch with me that I did, but this was for Patreon. So yeah, if you do want to watch it, you can become a Patreon supporter and just watch all the videos that I've done ever, and you can have access to all of them. So yeah, very cute sketches. So these are some more pencil portrait sketches. These are some timed ones that I did for that video that I mentioned, the tips on how to get better at drawing this year. And these are some timed portrait sketches that I did for that video. Also for that video, I did some drawing from life at a coffee shop. So I just went to a coffee shop, drew some people that were there, and that was also one of my tips for the video. And I'm really happy with how it came out. So yeah, if you want to give it a watch, it'll be linked down there. This is also for that video. I did some ballpoint pen sketches. I always really love drawing with ballpoint pens, and I always forget how much I love drawing with ballpoint pens. So I really have to draw with it more often because they look so pretty. These were some more sketches that I did for that video, and this was for like a segment on life drawing still, and how much I like it. And I mentioned it early in this video as well, how much I like it. So this was using that website that I mentioned earlier called Line of Action, and these were just some of the portraits that came up on the portrait class that I set up for myself. So we've got a lot of 30-second portraits here, 1 minute, 5 minutes, and yeah, it's just a really helpful way to like learn to get all the gestures and the shapes down really quick on the page and not really care how it comes out in the end, because it's just practice. And yeah, that was for that video as well. Some more ballpoint pen sketches because I felt inspired when doing those other ones. And this was actually a sketch plan that I did for an event that I did with Starbucks earlier this year for Valentine's Day. So this was just like a first draft idea for a sort of little poster that I was going to do for an event. Another life drawing session. This one was gladiator themed. I'm not sure. I think it was gladiator themed, but I'm not sure why it was gladiator themed. So yeah, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, all of these poses, more 5 minutes here. And then I'm pretty sure I switched to a different sketchbook. That's why I don't have any of the other poses here, but I switched to like a brown paper sketchbook for the rest. This is a very blank spread. I don't know why I never like went back and filled this in. But yeah, these were for a Patreon video that I did about shading with pencil and adding lighting and shading 101. So yeah, all of this was sort of for that video. And again, if you want to watch this video and all the other ones, you can just become a patron and have access to all of them. So yeah, these two very, very empty pages. I usually really like to go back once I finish a sketchbook and like fill out any empty areas, but I guess I missed these two. I don't know. So this was another life drawing session that I did. So 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes poses, 5 minutes, all of these. 5 minutes, 10 minutes here. And then I must have switched to my other sketchbook again to do some like colored pencil ones, because I usually like to do sepia toned sketches for the longer poses, so I can use my white pencil and add really cool highlights. Anyway, so these were two sketches that I also did for a Patreon video. There we go. So yeah, these were 2 sketches that I did for a Patreon video on how to draw from reference in your own style and how I use reference in my own drawings and stuff like that. Got, of course, some more markers. This one was for a YouTube video as well, so you can watch the whole process of these there, and it was like a chill draw with me and chat with me video. Some more cute ballpoint pen sketches over here. I think I was just drawing from like reference on Pinterest or something and just doing some quick, you know, warm-ups on this day probably. Yeah, some more random sketches and thumbnailing for a painting that I was going to do for like a video. So I was just thumbnailing an idea for that painting. Another quick colored pencil sketch here. And yeah, another like pencil sketch. I think I did this for a video. Yes, I did this for an ASMR pencil sketching video, so that one's also up on the channel if you'd like to watch me draw these out. Again, another really empty page. I'm not really sure what happened here, but yeah, just two random girls hanging out. Okay. So these were just some random like sketches that I did while I was on holiday. I just kind of wanted to jot something down and do something, but I didn't really have like any creative energy at the time, so that's what came out. And these here were the thumbnails and the little sketches that I did for my new thank you cards for my online shop. So I ended up going with this sort of design here. I can show you what the final one ended up looking like. So from sketch to final piece. And also the sticker for my press-on nail sets that I was just doing the packaging stickers for. Here I was also doing some more shop launch prep, so just doing some more sketches and thumbnailing of things that I needed to make for my shop launch. So this was like the initial designs that I was going to do, the like press-on nail instructions on how to apply the press-on nails, and then this is going to be probably the packaging for my new sketchbook. But yeah, so this was just me prepping for shop launch while I was away visiting family. So here we've got some more pencil portrait sketches and things. This is when I actually started getting into using my Pilot Color Eno purple pencil over here. I've gotten really into using that recently, again, because I went through like a big art block rut for a few months and barely even touched my sketchbook. So yeah, slowly but surely I just started like messing around with different materials again, seeing what helped me want to draw more again. And yeah, that kind of helped. They look really cute. This was a marker illustration that I did for a Patreon video. So I did like a full marker illustration process and tutorial, and she looks really cute. Random sketches with this pencil. Again, just trying to get out of that art block rut, just drawing whatever, anything that popped up sort of on my Pinterest, and just kind of trying to like get back into the swing of things. And then I did this cute little drawing that I actually haven't done anything with yet, but I do want to do something with this, like either go back into this and render it with a pencil or paint it or something. And then here, these are just some thumbnails here on the next page of some designs that I needed to get done for my 2024 calendar that I'm working on. So these are just some of the last few illustrations that I need to get done for it. This page I really like because this is when I started getting out of that art block a lot and getting really into drawing again, and this was a few weeks ago, and I'm really happy with how these sketches came out. I just kind of did them on the sofa while I was watching something, and I'm really happy with how they came out. I'm definitely gonna turn these into like finished illustrations because I'm very happy with how the sketches came out. And then finally, the last page of my sketchbook, I just did this sort of very majestic drawing from reference and just kind of, you know, filled out this page nicely. And again, just did this on the sofa one evening while watching Drag Race. So that was the end of my sketchbook. This here is just that little sort of envelope that all the sketchbooks have. And yeah, that was it for my big sketchbook from the last year and a bit. Let me know what you guys thought. Let me know which ones were sort of your favorite. And I hope you enjoyed seeing my art journey for the past almost year and a half, and just sort of seeing how much my style has changed, how many materials I went through in this sketchbook, how many things I experimented with, and hopefully it inspires you to also do the same and just sort of kind of let loose in your sketchbook and do whatever the heck you want. So there will be a video on the channel very, very soon of me starting my next sketchbook. So stay tuned to see which sketchbook I will be using next. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.